Today's lesson is called infinite limits. Infinite limits is when f of x increases or decreases without a bound at x equals c. In other words, when f of x is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, which means infinity, or it could get smaller to approach negative infinity. Typically, this occurs when x is equal to c is the vertical asymptote. So let's look at a graph. Notice that at x equals to c, from the left side is approaching negative infinity because the value is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. From the right side is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So we could say that limit as x approaches c from the left side of f of x is equal to negative infinity. Same concept as limit as x approaches c from the positive side is equal to positive infinity. Notice the result comes out to be infinity and negative infinity, making it infinite limits. So let's look at example 1. Example 1, f of x is equal to 1 over 2 times x plus 1. Then we need to find the limit of f of x at x equal to negative 1 from the left side, negative 1 from the right side. So then we need to find both of one side limit, from negative 1 from the right and left. And then after that, they're going to calculate when x is approaching negative 1. So first, let's look at our function. We could see that there's a vertical asymptote at x equals to negative 1 because your denominator, if you set that equal to 0, you'll find that x will come out to be negative 1, which means you have a vertical asymptote. So we talked about if there's a vertical asymptote, there's a possibility you're going to have an infinite limit because the graph will approach either to the negative side or the positive side depending on the graph. So the only way to figure out whether it's approaching negative infinity or positive infinity is looking at the trend as you get closer and closer and closer to negative 1. So for limit as x approaches negative 1 from the left side, we're going to observe value going towards negative 1 from the left side. So I chose negative 3 and negative 2. In f of negative 3, you're going to get negative 1/4. And for f of negative 2, you're going to get negative 1/2. Notice that number, as it gets closer and closer and closer to negative 1, notice that number is getting bigger and bigger, right? It's getting bigger and is approaching negative. So negative number, negative 1/4, negative 1/2. If you were to choose another one, you probably will get something bigger in negative value, which means it is approaching negative infinity. So we could say that the answer will come out to be negative infinity from the left side. Same concept from the right side. We're going to choose 2 numbers or 3 numbers depending on how many you want to choose. Typically 2 is enough. I'm going to choose 2 numbers from the right side of it. So from the right side, I chose 0 and positive 1. F of 0 is 1/2. F of 1 is positive 1/4. Again, as it gets closer and closer to negative 1 from the right side, it goes from 1/4 to 1/2, which means it's getting bigger and bigger. Hence, the answer will come out to be positive infinity. So from the left side is approaching negative infinity, from the right side is approaching positive infinity. So when x is approaching -1, your limit does not exist because it doesn't match from the left side or the right side. Example 2. Find the limit of x approaching -2 from the left side for x squared plus 2x minus 8 over x squared minus 4. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify to see the function. So the numerator could be factored down to x plus 4 times x minus 2. Denominator could be factored down to x plus 2 times x minus 2. So we could say that you're looking for limit as x approaches -2 from the left side for x plus 4 over x plus 2, because at x equal to +2 we have a hole. And we could see that at x equal to -2 we have vertical asymptote, which means we're going to have infinite limits. So once again, I'm going to choose, because we're approaching from the left side, we're going to choose two numbers from the left side. I'm choosing -4 and -3. If you substitute -4 in, you're going to get 0. If you substitute -3 in, you're going to get -1. So notice that as you get closer and closer and closer to -2 from the left side, the value is decreasing, which means your answer will come out to be -infinity. So we could say that limit as x approaches -2 from the left side for x squared plus 2x minus 8 over x squared minus 4 will be -infinity. So the best way to find infinite limit is using a table. Once you understand that at that value of your approaching is a vertical asymptote, you could pick as many numbers you want, but I recommend 2 because all you're looking for is a trend, whether it's going down or going up.